Hello, my fellow minor league nerds, and welcome to episode 15 of my Throwback Thursday Cap the Day series. This week, I'll be talking about the Binghamton Triplets. The Triplets existed from 1923 to 1968, but baseball in Binghamton can be traced back to 1878 and a team called the Crickets. They played 12 games in the International Association, going 6-6 before disbanding on July 19th. A team using that same name would play in the New York State League in 1895 and again in 1900, sharing the 1895 pennant with the Amsterdam Red Stockings. In 1885, a team called the Binghamton Bingos was founded, playing off and on for 27 seasons, bouncing around to several different leagues. Most of their time was spent in the New York State League, where they would play for a total of 19 seasons. They would win 2 pennants in 1913 and 1915. Their first pennant was actually won in 1892 while playing in an early version of the Eastern League, whose history can be traced to the modern International League. In fact, the last 2 seasons of the Bingos were actually played in the modern International League in 1918 and 1919 before folding once and for all. Baseball would return to Binghamton in 1923 when the Triplets, along with teams in Elmira, New York, Wilkes-Barre, Williamsport, Scranton, and York, Pennsylvania, formed the Class B New York-Penn League at the Arlington Hotel in Binghamton on March 23, 1923. The name Triplets is taken from the geographical name the Triple Cities, which refers to Binghamton, Johnson City, and Endicott. In 1938, the New York-Penn League would change its name to the one we know today, the Eastern League, and it was upgraded to AA in 1963 when the minor league system was restructured. For their entire existence, the Triplets played at Johnson Field in Johnson City. It was built in 1913 for the Bingos by George F. Johnson, president of the Endicott Johnson Corporation, which was a shoe manufacturer. Johnson loved baseball, and he also saw the value of treating his employees fairly and the need for them to have places to relax when not at work. He built numerous parks, many containing swimming pools and carousels, of which several are still standing and were free to ride. He also built medical facilities, restaurants, libraries, and recreational facilities, all designed to provide high-quality goods and services to his employees for free or at a low cost. When Johnson Field first opened, it was considered a great facility, but over time it deteriorated and was not adequately maintained or improved. It would be torn down in 1968 in order to make room for New York Route 17, which would run right through the ballpark. The Triplets would play in the Eastern League until 1963. For the 1964 season, for reasons I cannot verify, they moved down to the Class A New York-Penn League for 3 seasons before returning to the AA Eastern League in 1967. After the 1968 season, they would move to Manchester, New Hampshire, becoming the Manchester Yankees, due to Johnson Field being torn down. After going through several moves and name changes, today the team is known as the Akron Rubber Ducks. When the Triplets left town, Binghamton was without a professional team for 23 years. Before the start of the 1992 season, the Williamsport Bills would relocate to the city, becoming the Binghamton Mets. They would change their name to the Rumble Ponies starting in the 2017 season. For the first 9 years of their existence, the Triplets were unaffiliated. In 1932, the New York Yankees bought the team, ushering in a long, stable relationship between the two clubs that lasted until 1961 when the Yankees sold the team. A community stock sale was held in order to keep the Triplets in town. Between 1962 and 1963, the Triplets were affiliated with the Kansas City Athletics, a team many would say was a Yankees farm team itself. In 1964, they would be affiliated with the Milwaukee Braves for one season before reuniting with the Yankees in 1965. During their existence, the Triplets won 11 league titles, 10 in the New York-Penn/Eastern League, and 1 in the New York-Penn League. Being owned and affiliated with the Yankees for so long meant that many Bronx Bombers greats would play in Binghamton over the years. Some of them include Hall of Famer Whitey Ford, who played there in 1949, Clete Boyer in 1957, Spud Chandler in 1932 and 1933, Al Downing in 1961 and 1968, Thurman Munson also played there in 1968, Joe Pepitone in 1960, and Moose Skowron in 1951. Non-Yankees greats who played for the Triplets include Bill Verdon in 1952. He would actually manage the Yankees in 1974 and 1975. Hall of Fame baseball person Tony La Russa in 1962. Bert Campaneris in 1962 and 1963. Cito Gaston in 1964. And Ken the Hawk Harrelson in 1962. Notable managers for the Triplets include Hall of Famer Lefty Gomez, who managed the Triplets in 1946 and 1947, Granny Hamner, who was a member of the 1950 Philadelphia Phillies Whiz Kids team, managed in 1962, and John McNamara acted as a player manager in 1963. When the Yankees owned the Triplets, they would usually play one exhibition game in Binghamton against their farm team, meaning greats like Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, and Mickey Mantle all played at Johnson Field. In fact, Mantle was tapped to play there in 1951, but he had such an incredible spring training that he started the season in New York instead. A bit of ironic history is that the current Binghamton Rumble Ponies history can actually be traced back to the Wilkes-Barre Barons, who were founding members of the New York-Penn League in 1923. Well, my fellow minor league nerds, that's going to do it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you for all your support, for watching all my videos, for the support on Instagram and on Twitter. If you'd like to be notified every time a new video is uploaded, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Until next week, stay safe, and I will see you then.